Hello everyone and welcome back to Self-Serving Skillet, where I have 2 eggs left and 2 courses left to go. First up, something that's definitely not pasta carbonara because I'm a purist, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy it. Then, stay tuned for a little dessert. Alright, first thing I want to do is get my water boiling. And then for that dessert we're making, little stovetop espresso. I want to turn that down as low as it'll go so I don't burn it. Alright, cold pan, bacon. So this is what makes it not a classic carbonara. Carbonara is traditionally made with guanciale, which is a pork jowl, part of the cheek. But this is going to do just fine. What we're really looking for is the fat content. So we want to put that in the cold pan. And as soon as my water starts boiling, I'm going to turn this on medium high, start to render some of that fat out. While our water's boiling, we're just going to butter and flour the inside of this glass container. Scale again. I want 30 grams of all-purpose flour, 30 grams of sugar, 10 grams of unsweetened cocoa powder, half teaspoon of baking soda, half teaspoon of baking powder, and about a quarter teaspoon of salt. You remember that espresso? It's done. Alright? A barista once told me to add a drop of water if I'm not going to be using the whole thing right away so that the shot stays alive. I don't know the science behind that. Somebody let me know if you know. The recipe I'm using calls for buttermilk. I don't actually have any more milk left, but there is plenty of acid in this espresso to activate our baking soda. So I'm going to go for about 30 grams of espresso. And about 15 of heavy whipping cream. And we do want this to be a little warm, so if you can keep your hand under there, it's cool enough. About 7 grams of vegetable oil, which is going to be all the oil I have left. And since we have our half teaspoon measure out, I'm just going to add that much vanilla. Last but not least, we have about 2 eggs left, and I just want to add about a quarter egg to this. So you're looking for about 12 to 15 grams. Or you could actually use a teaspoon. Oh, this smells so good. And there you have 1 chocolate cake. Alright, this part is important. I haven't turned on my bacon yet because my water's not quite there, and I want these to finish at the same time, which you'll see later. Which kind of brings me to this next point here, follow the manufacturer's directions. They want repeat business from you, so they're gonna tell you how to get the best results from your pasta. Some might be 5 minutes, some might be 8. This is 11 to 13 minutes. If I was using something that said 8 minutes, I would have started this a few minutes ago. Long story short, get this going 10 to 12 minutes before your pasta comes out of the water. Water's boiling, medium high. Now they say salty like the sea. They also say that salting your pasta water raises the boiling point, allowing food to cook faster. What they don't tell you is that to this 6 quarts of boiling water, I would need to add about a cup of salt to raise it just less than 2 degrees with quick math. So I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons, and that's gonna be plenty salty. I'm making an entire pound of spaghetti, but I'm not gonna eat that much in my dish. I'll probably end up eating about a 1/4 pound. But I am gonna cook this all at once, then I'll have made pasta ready for a quick lunch. Now this part is optional. Remember that other half of chicken breast from fried rice? I'm just gonna do it right here. And while both of these things are working, I'm gonna prep my cheese. So there are a couple elements in this dish that make it not a carbonara, and one of them being Parmigiano Reggiano. Carbonara is traditionally made with Pecorino Romano, which is a sheep's milk cheese. I use both because I love the depth of flavor that they both bring to the table. So all in all, I want about a 1/4 cup of cheese. I'm just gonna grab a 1/4 cup measure and see how much I thought was a good amount. And this fits pretty well into a 1/4 cup. So it looked like a lot right here. The proof is right here. So let's bring out the egg that we have left, which should be just shy of 2 eggs. And I want all this cheese in there. When this chicken's done, can come off. Heat off, heat off. Now I'm only doing this so I can save this water for the next part. And it is better to do this in a non-stick skillet because of all this foam that I have built up, but if we work fast enough, this is gonna be just fine. So you're gonna take your pasta hot out of the water. We're gonna toss that together, all right? Add a little bit of pasta water. And just because we decided to add chicken, we're gonna put that chicken in now. And it's the residual heat left over from all of this that's gonna cook our dish. I didn't show it here, but make sure to taste your pasta for saltiness after everything is incorporated. Bacon is salty, some cheeses are saltier than others. We had salt in our pasta water, but this dish could still need a little bit of salt. Water's boiling again. So we're going to take the colander that we used to strain our pasta. We're going to plop our cake right down in the middle and cover that. I'm going to let that sit for about half an hour before I check it. The steam is going to keep it at a constant 212 degrees, so it might take a little bit longer, but if you were going to do this in an oven, you would just put it at 350 and check it at about 15 minutes. And there is our pasta carbonara. Classic sauce, not quite so classic build. Extremely delicious. I have no words. The creaminess and the richness of the egg yolk and the cheese just get such a powerful contrasting punch from that cracked black pepper. This is honestly such a comfort food. I was speechless for several seconds after putting it in my mouth, and I'm salivating just looking at it. This is absolutely sure to satisfy your hunger. I'm gonna eat this while I wait for that cake. All right, cake time. I don't have a toothpick handy, so when a chopstick comes out clean, it's ready. Now, run a butter knife along the edges to dislodge it and turn it over onto a plate. I personally think that the best part of the cake is the cake. But if you want to see me make a single serving of frosting, let me know in the comments. I might revisit this in the future. And as long as I still have espresso left, I might as well make an espresso drink to go with my espresso cake. I'm going with an Americano here, which is just espresso and hot water. And because it's my birthday, and because I couldn't find a candle, I'm just gonna blow out this match. And because when I asked my daughter if she had a birthday hat, this is what she gave me. So this is how I'm gonna celebrate. So happy birthday to me. Keep in mind that I substituted espresso and cream for the buttermilk that this recipe called for. If you want this crumb to hold together just a little more, go ahead and use that buttermilk. You can always have a cup of coffee later. Oh. This is just beautiful. This flavor is really nice. It's only just sweet enough, and that espresso really brings out the unsweetened cocoa powder. Oh, perfect way to pair it too. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything you'd like to see me make here on Self-Serving Skillet. That's it for our Breaking an Egg series, at least for now. Join me next time on Self-Serving Skillet for a look inside my pantry.